Hey there again, I'm Cathy McLeish, and I'm doing the second in my series on alcoholism. And in my first intro, I did tell you that I am an alcoholic. I didn't break any rules. Cathy McLeish, I'm an alcoholic. I am an alcoholic in recovery. You are an alcoholic when you're drinking. You're an alcoholic when you're in recovery. That is my experience, and I'm only speaking from my experience of 37 years of working on myself, working with others, having others work with me the whole time. So it is a little bit of experience, and I'll go into all the areas of that over the series. But today I just want to address the question, does the alcoholic understand that they're alcoholic? And from my experience, the answer is a big fat no. Do I see what I'm doing? Only partially. I could hide my drinking from myself. And I know that sounds insane. And there is a part of the alcoholic that is insane, a little crazy. And by that, I mean an alcoholic, at least me and most that I've known, worked with, and have worked with me, cannot see the truth about their life when they're drinking. They cannot see the total truth. We will say things like, I'm only hurting myself, and that is such a huge lie. I found that in recovery. It's a very hard truth to digest, that I was hurting everybody around me. So if there are 1,000 alcoholics that are practicing over the period of time that this is on YouTube, and you hear this and you think you're only hurting yourself, I am here to tell you, with 37 years of experience, that you are hurting other people. Unless you're a hermit on an island, you can still be hurting other people because you have deprived them of being in their life. And we do that at every level because we aren't a part of things when we're drinking. When I was drinking alcoholically, I was only partially there. And for the most part, my life had shrunk so small that a lot of people were just cut out of it totally, either by their own choice because they didn't want to be a part of my crazy, or because I didn't want to do anything that interfered with my drinking. So does the alcoholic know what they're doing? I can't say that I didn't have a conscience. I did have a conscience. I could just drink it away. So there would be times when I would have total remorse of the way I treated somebody, the way I talked to somebody. But instead of really having the tools to make that right, especially if you have apologized over and over again, but you have not changed, that it just is old, and even the alcoholic knows that is pathetic. So instead, I would drink at that shame. I would drink at that guilt. Did I really understand that was the cycle that I was in? I don't know, because, taking a drink just kind of is the anesthetic that shuts the world and the pain out. And when you get far enough along in your alcoholism, you just know that's the go-to when the emotions start to come up. Because as an alcoholic, I didn't deal with emotions. I didn't even understand emotions. I couldn't identify emotions. And so maybe that was all about who I was before I started to drink alcoholically. That is a part of what we discover when we move into recovery. But when I'm drinking, what I know is that I did not have the capacity to deal with life around me, and drinking became my answer. I looked at life around me, and here was my thought. If you would change, if you would stop drinking, if you would do what I asked you to do, if this wasn't the way it was, if I had more money, if you understood me, there's 1,000,001 reasons that any of us can keep on taking that drink. And in the end, I found out that they were all lies. They were basically the shield that I put up to keep the truth away from me until I was ready to handle the truth. And that was my decision. It had to be made by me. I know a lot of other people, or in the end, a few other people, really wanted to help me to get out of the hole that I was in, but it wasn't for them to do. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It was something I had to do for myself. And denial, which will be the next episode of this series, denial is such a huge part of the disease of alcoholism that I couldn't see the truth to get the help that I needed. So it's kind of like, what is the word? I'm stuck in this cycle of I can't see that I need the help, so I can't get the help because I can't see that I need the help. So I can't get the help. And breaking through that cycle is little pieces of honesty from other people telling me the truth about what they see. Oftentimes we see something and we just don't say what needs to be said. That was not normal that you did not show up for Christmas. That was not normal that you slept through your son's birthday party. That was not normal that you got that job and you sabotaged it within a month. That is not normal. Your drinking is not normal. I think you may have a problem. There is a statistic that says that someone who is drinking, someone who is practicing alcoholism, is in their alcoholism, needs to hear a truth at least 7 times. I probably need to hear it, 17 times, maybe more. They need to hear a solid truth, kind of like an in-your-face truth, without being in a dangerous situation, before they can actually hear it. Now, if someone came to my door today and said, your lawn needs to be mowed, I would hear it. I would look at my lawn and I would decide if there was any factual truth to the fact that they just said my lawn needed mowed. But when I was drinking and people said, do you have a problem with drinking? Or do you think maybe you drink a little too much? I would hear what I wanted to hear, and it did not register. It would be like, if you had my life, you would drink too. It would be like, if you were married to him, you would drink too. It would be like, I didn't drink that much. He drank more than me. And so 7 times hearing the truth may just scratch the surface of an alcoholic. And that seems very discouraging, but it's not. And I'm going to tell you more things that will give you hope. Not that you can fix somebody. You cannot fix an alcoholic. You cannot get them to recovery any quicker, I don't believe. What you can do is you can take care of yourself in the situation the best way that you can, and you can have peace. Maybe that peace is leaving. Maybe that peace is staying. But there are ways to deal with us, and there are healthier ways. There are good ways. There are bad ways. And I will just share my experience, how people dealt with me, how I have dealt with others. And if you would like to be a part of that, please help to break this barrier of ignorance around what an alcoholic is. What an alcoholic is when they're in recovery and when they're practicing. Please join me, subscribe, and learn. Thanks.